Hey there folks, Ash here with another Power Rangers comic review. Now we're in the final arc of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic. After this we've got a few more issues to go and it will be wrapped up in a couple of months. I believe in September the Power Ranger comic book is wrapping up finally, but things are wrapping up but they're also ramping up, if you know what I mean, because this final arc is just getting crazier and crazier as it's going to lead into the other spin-off comics we're getting, or the sequel comics we're getting that are coming out near the end of the year. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about with this issue because it's called Enemy of My Enemy, and there's a lot of interesting takes that characters have in this issue with what's going on, and it mostly focuses on the Rangers. We barely see the bad guys in this issue. We see a bad guy, but that's at the very end of the comic, but this issue has a lot to talk about in this comic with how characters act and feel, and it's a wild roller coaster of a ride, and I was not expecting the final arc of this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic to take a turn like this. So Ryan has still got it, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about this comic because there's a lot to unpack as we discuss in this video. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video if you enjoyed it, and share it around with a friend because the final arc of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book is getting freaking crazy. So let's get into it. So it appears that things on Safe Haven are finally back to normal after the events of Necessary Evil, and the Omega Rangers are taking some of the aliens back home. And what's really cool about seeing the Omega Rangers in this comic is some of them are sporting a new look, and one of them is Trini. She's cut her hair short. Now, Trini, ever since the Mighty Morphin comic book began, she's had her long hair, but if you read Go-Go all the way up to issue Forever Rangers, she had her hair short for the longest time, and then by the end of that comic, where it sort of flows into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show with Green with Evil, she grows her hair long again. So Trini is back to having a short haircut, and I kind of like it. I like her new appearance, and I'm really digging it. Trini with short hair is always a treat to see, and I'm glad we'll be seeing more of it moving forward unless she grows her hair long again. But I'm hoping this brand new look for Trini, now that we're going away from the TV show with the Omega Rangers, is going to be her new look from now on, because I really do like short hair Trini. So the Omega Rangers are just hanging out in the spaceship doing their own thing, and Jason's working out. Jason's working out because he says, hey, might as well take advantage of the gravity while you're out in space, because it's sort of like the whole Dragon Ball Z thing, training in 0 gravity or 1,000 times gravity. That's what Jason is doing. He's taking advantage of the gravity, and he says to Trini that, hey, we're going to head back to Earth soon because the Empowered are gone, the Morphin Grid's repaired, and things on Safe Haven are no longer a threat. The things that were a threat on Safe Haven are gone now. So hey, we might as well go back to Earth because I love being an Omega Ranger, but I want to go home. And it's sort of alluding to the fact that, hey, there is more stuff out there while we're out in space, so it's sort of teasing what's to come at the end of the issue. But what I really do like about the development of Jason, because I get the feeling once the Omega Ranger comic is over and Jason is back on Earth, even though Ryan said he's going to sort of go his own way apart from the TV show, I am wondering if they retell Zeo, which they probably won't, they'll probably retell bits of Zeo. Are they going to have a plot point in the story where Jason returns home and it sort of sets up him becoming the Gold Ranger later down the line? But I don't think we'll be seeing that for the longest time, because it looks like things are finally doing their own separate thing, which is really cool. But I am wondering, are they going to have that plot thread or storyline where Jason is going to be in the desert like we saw him in Power Rangers Zeo? We're going to set up what he was doing in between now and Zeo, but that's sort of being rewritten with the whole Omega Rangers stuff. So yeah, I guess we won't be seeing that, but it's cool to see Jason wanting to go back home and protect the planet he's from, because if you remember Go-Go, Jason was very, very cautious about leaving Earth. He didn't want to leave his team, he didn't want to leave his family behind, and now he's like, hey, things are back to normal, let's go home to Earth. So it's cool to see Jason wanting to go back to Earth, because yeah, space is fine, it doesn't need protecting, we've done our job here. Meanwhile, back on Earth, you cut to Adam and Aisha. They're in science class. They're going to get partnered up, but things don't go that way, and they're given random partners. And Adam is partnered with a girl called Violet, and her take on the Power Rangers is very interesting because she hates them, or she doesn't say she hates them, she thinks they're dangerous, and the reason why she thinks they're dangerous is because we don't know who they are, we don't know if they're qualified, and we don't know if they've been trained. And one interesting line she has, and it's outlined in bold, one of the words she says, if they fail, who holds them accountable? Does anyone? And Adam replies with, yeah, I'm sure someone holds them accountable for what they've done. And her response is, hey, if no one knows who these Power Rangers people are, someone's providing them with power, and that gives them responsibility, and responsibility requires accountability. So that's a very, very interesting take that someone has on the Rangers this far into the comic, because everyone's loved them, everyone's viewed them as heroes, but she's actually viewing it in the real world, saying, hey, they've got these powers, they've got this responsibility. If they fuck up, who do we blame? We blame them. Who holds them accountable? Is there someone that we hold accountable for all this stuff? It's sort of like the whole Marvel Civil War stuff in the comics and stuff like that, but it's really cool to see a character like that question the whole responsibility of the Rangers. And I'm wondering if this character sticks around, what is their role going to be? Because now that Adam's encountered them, and what's going to happen next? So I really do like a character like that who is sort of questioning the views of the characters in the comic that we've known for so long. Like, they're raising the important questions, the real world questions, when you view the whole Power Ranger fictional TV show with a real world lens. So I enjoy seeing characters like that come into the comic and just question stuff like that. So I'm wondering if Violet's going to appear more often. Is she a hero? Is she a villain? No idea, but I get the feeling whatever she's questioning is going to come into play with the whole Dark Rangers and the brand new enemy on the horizon in the next couple of issues. And then we get one of my favorite parts of this issue, and that is Kimberly confronting Lord Drakkon. And I gotta love insane in the head Lord Drakkon, because I was confused who he was talking to last issue, and it is confirmed he is definitely talking to the severed head of that Saber he ripped off at the end of Shattered Grid. And it is just funny how he's talking to this guy like he's his best friend, where he's like, oh, I'm not apologizing for ripping off your head, but you look better this way. So Kimberly comes in and he says, hey, no one's buying the whole Nutso act, and I want you to talk. I'm gonna make you talk. And Drakken's just in control of this conversation the whole time. Even though he's fucked in the head right now and he's a bit crazy, he is in control of this conversation the whole time. And he's like, hey, are you here to put an arrow through my head? I know from experience you can do that. And he's like, I'll give you some motive, I'll give you some incentive to put an arrow through my head. And he basically taunts Kimberly this entire next couple of pages, and the artwork is freaking awesome. Just seeing the pink phoenix aura surrounding Kimberly as she's pissed off is just freaking amazing. So Drakkon fully taunts her, saying, hey, you know, when you were my Ranger Slayer, you told me some of your deepest, darkest secrets about your life, personal things you'd never tell anyone else. And Kimberly tries to call him out on his bullshit, saying, hey, you're lying, your lips aren't moving. And Drakken's like, hey, I know how you feel about your parents, because you told me that. You told me how you secretly flirt with your friends just to make sure they like you, and how you love to lie for no reason. I know it scares you, I know what you're ashamed of, and most importantly, I know how you feel, what it's like to hurt your friends in the most specific way. And you know what I have. And just before he speaks, she draws her arrow and she's ready to shoot. She's ready to kill him. And Drakkon sort of taunts her, saying, go on, do it. You can't miss me from this angle. Do it, you coward. Kill me. And Kimberly doesn't kill him. But I gotta love the artwork on this panel. Just the fiery pink aura that she's got. The look on her face. It is freaking awesome. And Kimberly's like, I'm not killing you. Someone's going to put you out of your misery sooner or later, but you're not my kill. So that whole scene where Drakkon just taunts her and is in control of the conversation the whole time is freaking amazing. How Drakkon got inside Kimberly's head for that one scene, that one couple of panels, and she was ready to do the kill, because he could have revealed much, much more. And you can kind of allude what he's getting at when he says, I know what it's like when you have to keep specific things from your friends and you let them down, which is probably referring to the whole Matt situation, that no doubt about it, Ranger Slayer probably told him. No doubt about it, Ranger Slayer probably told him that while she was under his control. So that is something, but props to that scene here where just Drakken just taunts the living shit out of her. And I can't wait to see where Drakken's going next, because there's been a lot of speculation. Is he going to turn into a ranger? Is he not going to turn into a ranger? I don't know, but either way, I'm excited to see more crazy fucked in the head Drakken moving forward, because that is something. Like, that panel is just freaking amazing how he got inside her head. So this is where you have the big reveal on the final turn page of the issue. So the Omega Rangers arrive on the planet they're dropping off our alien friends off, and they arrive there and things aren't looking good. The planet looks destroyed, like it was attacked by something, or something blew it up, and none of the inhabitants are there. And one of the alien notes it saying, hey, we don't have any spaceships, so where did they all go? So the Omega Rangers decide to check it out. But there's an interesting note that 11 or C, or whatever you want to call him, says. A little alpha robot. He says, it looks like there was no natural disaster, but a massive energy spike disruption that attacked the planet on a cellular levels. So it looks like there was something that attacked it from underground that ruined the planet and caused it to become like this. So that's an interesting bit of information. So the Omega Rangers check it out and go down to the planet, and they find these weird putty things that are made out of strange bacteria. So these are strange putty gross monsters that are made something from bacteria and stuff like that. So gross looking shit, I'm guessing. So whatever these are very different compared to the putties we've seen before. So it kind of confirms that something is making them, but from bacteria. So there's a brand new threat out there. So the Omega Rangers make easy work of these brand new grunts, these putties, and they use their Omega Strike team attack. And they get rid of them sort of like this giant team wave. So they take them out easily. And then something else happens. The ground begins to shake and something appears below them. And what this is probably the brand new threat that we'll be getting in this arc. And we don't know who this is, but we have an idea who he might be aligned with. Now, we did see this creature in the cover of issue 50. That was one of the alternate covers, one of the cover page of stories that you get. Unlocked, I believe it's called. And he was sort of teased to be the next antagonist at the end. So whoever this character is, I believe he's from the Imperials, I believe they're called. He is probably the next big threat. So whoever this is, he seems very powerful to create planetary devastation on this level. So he is definitely the next bad guy they're setting up for the next arc. And the Omega Rangers have just run into him. Yeah, so that's pretty much issue 52 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Enemy of My Enemy. This comic just keeps getting better and better, and I'm excited to see what they're setting up next with the whole Dark Rangers, because they'll be appearing in issue 53. Now, no doubt about it, they'll be on the final page of the comic unless they appear earlier than that, but either way, I'm excited to see the Dark Rangers next month, and along with Drakkon, New Dawn and stuff like that. But this comic, as it gets closer and closer to the finale, has just kicked it into overdrive as things are getting crazy and crazy. And I'm curious what Ryan is setting up as we get closer to the sequel comics or the spin-off comics or the reboot comics, whatever you want to call it. But either way, I really enjoyed this comic. I mean, the interaction between Kimberly and Drakken was awesome. The brand new enemy or the antagonist has showed himself. The Omega Rangers are doing their own thing. Adam made somewhat of a new friend, but either way, I'm excited to see where this comic goes next, and I'm really excited to see what Ryan has in store for these characters. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, I'd love to hear your opinions, because who do you think this brand new enemy is, and how much of a threat do you think he is for our Omega Rangers? Do you think they're going to get wiped out, destroyed? Do you think they have to retreat to Earth? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video now. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys around. Peace out. Take care.